Well, we know what this bumpy road means. This bumpy road means I'm downtown for an audition at Heyman Talent, which is located here at Longworth Hall. Looks like the correct lobby elevator is working, so I won't have to hike the whole building today. Huh, that's fine. All right, it's Wednesday. Got a lot on the plate, but I wanted to come down and do this. All right, let's do it. Here comes the jacket. That went fine. I really, though, enjoyed more the long conversation I had with the folks at the talent agency afterwards about just stuff and how the Cincinnati office is doing really well, and the other offices are not quite as productive currently. They're just not having as much success right now, which is, it is what it is. It's just how the market's working right now for them. But it was a fun conversation. So it's not always the auditioning that's the important part about auditioning. Sometimes it's just the human relationships. But that is a life lesson, isn't it? Now, that being said, the two of the folks that work for the agency live fairly close to me, so we chat anyway, and we've discovered we have a lot more in common than we thought we did as a part of the conversation today too, which was super nice. And I can't remember where I was going with that. I can't remember. I had something I wanted to say about those two. Anyway, that was great. Bye. Oh yeah, baby. Called ahead this time. We got snacks. They're drinking beer in there, but I'm not a beer drinker. Nor am I a pop drinker, so especially not Pepsi. Oh, really? So we're off. I have to go do some plumbing at my sister's. Maybe I should do a little video there. Her basement is interesting. It's a really old house in a Cincinnati neighborhood called Northside. So dirt, stone wall basement. It's kind of cool. I just hope the water leak down there isn't too bad so that I don't get all wet. Oh well, I wore the wrong shoes. It is what it is. So I'm heading into Kroger to get some spray foam insulation because I should have got some to work on this job for my sister, and she might be here buying cat food. And that was a big neither nor. They did not have spray foam insulation and my sister was not here. So let's just get to her house. It's close by. I was unable to fix my sister's spigot. So what it is I installed for her a new outdoor spigot for her hose bib. And as it turns out, the copper pipe had a pinhole in it. And I just did this last year. I mean, I think it might have been 18 months ago. And it developed a little pinhole leak. And people working cooperatively, somebody that was in her basement helping her out with something else that was going on, spotted the leak, and it's been leaking that way for a while, but again, just a pinhole. So I thought I'd just be able to heat it up, flux it, solder it, and that would suck into the joint. Maybe it was just a bad solder joint. And no, it turns out it was in fact a pinhole. So I then just pulled it out of the shutoff valve, shut it off, pulled it up, pulled it out of the shutoff valve, and then I'm just going to have to go refix it, manufacture it, right? I'll just cut a couple inches off, get a joiner, and then put a couple inches on minus the joiner, so it's the same length, relatively speaking. I mean, I got a half an inch to play with. It doesn't matter really that much how far it sticks out of the outside. Bummer, though. I wish I could have fixed it for her. Oh well, it is what it is. All right. Going to make the day. Going to have dinner with some members of the extended family here on this fun-filled Wednesday. Hope I don't take the wrong way and get stuck in traffic. All right, later.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me. Yep. Let's get this day rolling.
I want to talk a little bit about nutrition and weight and all that kind of stuff. I watched a long video by a fitness guru about, calories in and calories out. But I'm here to tell you that calories in and calories out is so far from being anything realistic. Since last Friday, have lost 6 pounds and then gained 4 pounds, and it's Thursday. So in a week, I went from I was assiduous about tracking my food and maintaining my fasts and avoiding carbs just for the weekend. So from Friday morning until Monday morning, I lost 6 pounds. From Monday morning until today, being slightly less assiduous with my carbs, but still maintaining my 2,000 calorie a day limit. I think it was 100 calories over yesterday. And maintaining my fasts, which is 16 hours. I do the 16 and 8 thing. Don't eat for 16 hours every day, right? So whenever I finish dinner, I don't eat for 16 hours. And I gained 4 pounds over the week. It's not simple calories in and calories out. The human body has all these other kind of things. It's your salt intake and how much water you're retaining, and carbs make a difference. Activity level clearly makes a difference. I was pretty active Friday night, played a lot at sand volleyball Friday and Sunday, and burned up I don't know how many calories doing that. But there's no way that it makes sense for me to lose 6 pounds from Friday morning to Monday morning, as much as it doesn't really make sense for me to gain 4 pounds from Monday morning to now, because it's not like I've been eating cookies and ice cream. I did have one cookie on Tuesday. That's it. Weird. Other stuff going on that I at least find fascinating. Let's talk about that. I happened, big heavy sigh, which I do sometimes when I start to talk, and then I try to edit it out of most of the videos. I have this thing going back years. Well, I'll come up with an idea and don't act on it. It's just me, and maybe you've noticed that so far. And actually doing this Cincinnati Dad stuff for me has been a major leap of faith and kind of action, where normally I would be paralyzed by inaction. I think there's a book somewhere about Hamlet and that he's the same way. Anyway, somehow on Twitter got linked to a video from a guy who then posted a Casey Neistat video, and I haven't watched Casey for a while, and Casey used a line I've been using forever, and publicly. And it's not unique to me. And maybe that's part of this, that sometimes the things that we think are unique to us, the ideas we have that are unique to us, aren't all that unique to us. This one in particular is the whole idea of the passage of time, right? I'm 54 years old. So I have been explaining to people that time is relative and it's a math thing for years. When you're 5, a year is 1/5 of your life. That's a significant portion of your life. When you're 54, a year is a 54th of your life. That's nothing. Casey said the same thing on his video, his New Year's video, because, he's 38 and he feels like he's getting old. Let's see. For years, my go-to reply when people ask me how I am is, Dave, how are you? I'm peachy, kind of fleshy in the middle, fuzzy on the outside. That's been my line. Talk to people. 10 years I've been saying that. There's somebody on YouTube and her last name rhymes with peachy, so that's her thing. So it's not my thing. Oh, let's see. 100 years ago, it seems like, in response to questions, I started going, survey says, It kind of became a thing. Oh, man. Schnikes, holy Schnikes. I don't even know where that one came from. That's been in popular use here at the Thomas House for a long time. So there are just a couple of things that, sometimes you feel like you're on the cutting edge, but I'm not a guy that does anything. Typically, I'm, paralyzed by inaction, like I said. And it's just interesting to see these things go out there. I'll tell you another one. I was kind of at a flea market thing with my mom once, and I was in college. and there was a bunch of old earrings in something or something like that. She goes, I'm surprised that you never got an earring, she says to me. And it was kind of funny because, and I said to her, well, I was thinking about it, but then I ran into a guy from high school and he had his ear pierced. And I'm like, if he's got his ear pierced, it's old and I'm not getting my ear pierced. Never got my ear pierced. All right, that's all I got for this little segment of chatting. So we'll see what happens next. So how's this for a monitor setup? Got my watch, which I'm using to control the camera, set up as my monitor hanging on my little tripod. The other thing that I know is going to happen at some point today is like my daughter's going to come home from her college classes in between or something, and I'm going to have like the tripod set up, and that's going to look stupid. So I'm going to try and not do that because I actually do have some work to do. But that's boring. You don't want to watch me copy PowerPoint slides to a new presentation and edit the text, and you don't care about that. I do have the fancy double monitor setup going though, so I got that going for me. I deliberately waited until the screens went dark because you don't need to see my work stuff. You don't need to see that. I got one fun thing that could happen today though. I found a whole bunch of old memory cards. Actually two separate Ziploc bags of old memory cards. So I'm very curious to know what's on them. My work computer is encrypted, so I can't load stuff onto it. I can't, what if I put it in a USB, it wants me to encrypt it. Oh, or it's just read-only, but that's cool because I just want to look at the stuff. Do you guys have memory cards lying around your house? You should check that out. I mean, what are you doing with all that stuff? Print your pictures, post them somewhere. I don't know, put them up online. Although, there's that whole facial recognition database thing that's happening. Ooh, whatever. Still, pictures on a memory card are not being enjoyed, are they? No, not. So this is my old work phone that we were allowed to keep because it's a 6S. It's good shape. There's nothing wrong with it. It's got the button, and I always swipe. It took me like I always try to swipe to close things instead of press the button. It took me a few days to get used to the new way of doing things on my new phone. I've talked about this already, but I got it back out so that I could shoot the video of my setup here, and I always forget to click the button. I always forget to click the button at the bottom. I finally just deleted my work email account off here because it kept asking me for the Outlook, Exchange server password. And it's just, basically it's just an additional camera that I have. It's a second camera so that I can shoot video and then send it to that phone and then yada, yada, yada. You know how that works. Handy to have, but I got to charge it. It's been sitting for a month. So I had a dream last night that I got down and I did like 10 push-ups or something. Oh, it was clearly a dream. Can I do 2 more? Not all the way down, I know. It's that was kind of pathetic, but I did it. Whew. I worked out at work the other day, which is good. I mean, it's part of the new year, and I did what I used to do, which is hop on the treadmill and run about 6.5 miles per hour, walk 3 for about 12 minutes, get about a mile in as a warm up, and then do some weight things. Usually just, let's see, it was goblet squats with a kettlebell, and then I did bent over rows with the kettlebells and farmer's walks with heavier kettlebells. Anyway, that was Tuesday. Today's Thursday. I'm sore. Still sore. I was actually hurt yesterday. So hopping down on the floor and doing some push-ups though, that's actually the best that I've done in a while. I've been doing them on the stairs, as I've talked about. And I've been doing some other exercises, some bent over rows and some curls and some things just to get working on my back strength and just get some of my strength back. Being 54 can be challenging. I replied to a tweet that somebody put out there about it's obnoxious when 30-somethings say that they're old and they need to stop that, and I agree. With a little story, so I do that all the time. I say I'm old, I'm 54, and I say to my 16-year-old, who's my youngest, I've got 3 kids, and my youngest is 16, he'll be 17 soon. I'm old, and he always says, you're not old. So I appreciate that. But bending down and getting stuff off the floor, getting down on your knees is sometimes a little more difficult when you're 54 and you've been working a desk job for years. And even though I have lost 60 pounds and gained at least 10 of it back, I'm working on that. It's you know, things are different. That's all. They're just different. So you adapt, right? So I'm gonna try to go take some steps before I have this 10 o'clock meeting. Hey, I just wanted to chime in really quickly to remind you to like the video. If you like the video, click the button down below. Go ahead and subscribe if that's what you're into, and ring the notification bell. Apparently, that's very important to YouTube, not so much to me. I'm just glad you're here. All right, get out there and make your day what you want your day to be. Thanks. Added a special ingredient. We'll see how this goes. And this stuff is pretty good. Yeah, work from home day, you know what that means. Hey there, Cincinnati Dad fans. Look, I'm sporting the Cincinnati Dad wear today. I also have the Make Your Day mug. This is just a little commercial for the merchandise that's available at the link down below. It would be great if you would help support the channel, and if you want to represent the Cincinnati Dad, especially if you are in Cincinnati and you're watching this and you want to be a Cincinnati Dad. We've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies. I've got them in colors of all the local teams, red and black and white for the Reds and for UC, and blue and white for Xavier, and gray maybe in there too, and then there's even orange for the Cincinnati Bengals. So make your day and make my day by buying some stuff. Thanks, I appreciate it.